It's weird how during the day, you can almost ignore everything. You answer messages, you scroll, you watch random stuff. Maybe you go outside for a bit. Maybe you laugh at something. Maybe you even convince yourself you're okay for a few hours. And then night comes. And suddenly your brain remembers everything. Every awkward moment. Every person you miss. Every conversation you overthink for no reason. Every version of your future that scares you a little. It's like the whole world gets quieter. And your thoughts get louder. And I don't know. Maybe you're listening to this right now because you can't sleep either. Maybe your room is dark. Maybe you've been staring at the ceiling for the past hour. Maybe your mind just won't leave you alone tonight. Yeah, I know that feeling. Sometimes it honestly feels like everyone else knows how to exist, normally except you. Like everybody else just lives. Meanwhile, your brain turns every little thing into a full investigation. You replay conversations from 3 days ago. You think about things you should have said differently. You wonder if people secretly find you weird. You overanalyze your tone, your face, your silence. Even small things become big at night. That's the part people don't really talk about. During the day, you can hide it pretty well. But at night, it's just you and your head. And your head does not know how to shut up sometimes. I think nights are dangerous for people who think too much. Because there's nothing distracting you anymore. No noise, no movement, no pretending. Just thoughts. And somehow they always feel heavier after midnight. You ever notice that? Problems that seemed manageable during the day suddenly feel 10 times worse at 2 a.m. Your future feels uncertain. Your loneliness feels louder. Your mistakes feel bigger. Even the smallest memories start showing up for no reason. And the weird thing is, sometimes it's not even sadness. Sometimes your brain is just restless. Like it's searching for something constantly. Some answer, some certainty, some feeling of control. But it never really finds it, so it just keeps going. And going. And going. I think a lot of people are more mentally exhausted than they realize. Not physically tired, mentally tired. From constantly thinking, constantly analyzing, constantly trying to understand themselves, trying to understand people, trying to understand why they feel disconnected all the time. That word, disconnected, I think about that a lot. Because some people can be surrounded by others and still feel completely alone. And honestly, I think that feeling is becoming way more common now. Everybody's connected to everybody online. But at the same time, nobody really feels close to anyone anymore. Conversations feel temporary. Attention feels temporary. People disappear fast now. And if you're already the type of person that overthinks everything, that stuff stays in your head longer than it probably should. Sometimes I wonder how many people are laying in bed right now, feeling the exact same way. Feeling behind in life. Feeling emotionally tired. Feeling like their brain never fully rests. It's strange because from the outside, most people probably look fine. That's the scary part. You can look completely normal and still spend every night fighting your own thoughts. I think that's why some people become quiet over time. Not because they have nothing to say, but because their brain already says too much all day long. So eventually they just get tired. Tired of explaining themselves. Tired of social situations. Tired of pretending they feel comfortable when they don't. And honestly, crowded places can feel exhausting when your brain works like this, because you become aware of yourself constantly. How you walk, how you sound, where you look, if people notice you, if you seem awkward. It's like your own mind watches you the entire time. And after a while, you just want silence again. That kind of mental exhaustion is hard to explain to people who don't experience it. Because from the outside, it just looks like, oh, they're quiet. But internally, it feels like your brain has 20 tabs open at the same time, and none of them close. I think some people became emotionally independent not because they wanted to, but because they got used to dealing with everything alone. And after a while, that becomes your normal. You stop talking about certain things. You stop opening up completely. You keep most thoughts in your head because explaining them feels impossible anyway. And the strange part is, you can get so used to loneliness that being understood starts feeling unfamiliar, sometimes even uncomfortable. I don't know, maybe that sounds dramatic, but late at night, people tend to become more honest with themselves. There's something about nighttime that removes distractions. You can't really run from your own thoughts here. And honestly, I think that's why some people stay awake so late. Not because they want to, but because nighttime is the only moment where everything finally slows down enough to actually feel things. Even if those feelings are heavy sometimes. And maybe this sounds weird, but I don't think overthinking always comes from weakness. I think sometimes it comes from awareness, from noticing too much, feeling too much, caring too much. Your brain gets tired because it never really stops processing everything around you. Every tone shift, every awkward pause, every change in someone's energy. You notice all of it, and after a while that becomes exhausting, especially when nobody else seems to notice those things. That can make you feel disconnected too, like you experience life differently than most people around you. And maybe you do, but honestly, I think there are way more people like this than we realize. They're just quiet about it. Most people don't openly say, yeah, my brain destroys me every night. People hide it well. Some hide it behind humor, some behind confidence, some behind isolation. But it's there, and I think deep down, a lot of people are just looking for somewhere they can finally relax mentally for a little while. Somewhere they don't feel judged. Somewhere they don't feel observed constantly. Somewhere they can exist without overanalyzing every little thing. That feeling is rare now. Real comfort is rare. Not entertainment. Not distraction. Actual comfort. And honestly, sometimes the best feeling in the world is just being around someone that makes your brain quiet down for a bit. No pressure, no performance, no pretending, just calm. I think that's why nights like this feel strangely emotional. Because underneath all the overthinking, most people are just tired. Tired of carrying so much internally all the time. And maybe tonight you don't need to solve all of it. Maybe you don't need answers right now. Maybe it's enough that someone else understands the feeling. Because honestly, sometimes that alone makes the night feel a little less heavy. And if you're still awake listening to this right now, I hope your mind slows down a little tonight. Even if it's just for a few minutes.